What's up, YouTube? This is Bystander X89. Guys, today I'm coming to you with my latest deck profile for July 2019. And guys, today I got a good one for you all. I'm updating my Masked Hero deck to include some of the Vision Hero monsters that were released in Battles of Legend Heroes Revenge that came out earlier this month. And I can tell you this right now, this new Vision Hero engine helps the deck get off even faster than before, and it really does help you allow to build up your link boards. Alright, if you don't believe me, we're going to get right into it, and you're going to see what I mean. Alright, let's start off with the Vision Hero engine first. 3 copies of Vision Hero Virus. Now, this is one of the newest monsters. Okay, whenever this guy is summoned, normal or special summon, you can actually turn around, search your deck for a level 4 or lower Vision Hero monster to place face up in your spell and trap zone as a continuous trap, which is just freaking awesome. Alright? Now, you can special summon this up from your hand by discarding a hero monster as well, so it could help you unclog your hand in a lot of situations, and it just makes for a little bit good speed. Now, one of the Vision Hero monsters that you're going to be looking to add to your field in your spell and trap card zone is going to be one of the 2 copies of Vision Hero Increase. Alright? Increase is pretty awesome. Basically, while it's face up as a continuous trap in your spell and trap zone, you can actually turn around and tribute off a hero monster you control, special summon it to the field as a monster, and then you can actually special summon another level 4 or lower Vision Hero monster from your deck to the field. And the monster you're going to be wanting to do is going to be Vion. However, one thing I want to cover is that while Increase is actually in your graveyard, if you take battle damage, you can actually place it into your spell and trap zone, which is actually very cool. That's actually an effect that they actually had from the manga, and I'm very happy they actually kept that. Now, Vion here, Vision Hero Vion, kind of a linchpin in the deck. Whenever it's summoned, normal or special, you get to dump a hero monster from your deck to your graveyard, and that is such insanely important. Getting Destiny Hero Malicious to get an extra body on board, or even dumping Shadow Mist to get a search for another hero monster, so important to this deck. Alright? Now, one other thing I want to point out is that you probably might be able to bring out multiple copies of this guy in one turn. You can only use each of its effects once per turn. Now, the first effect, the dumping effect, is only once. But then again, while it's face up on the field, you can banish a hero monster you don't need in your graveyard anymore, and basically be able to search your deck for a polymerization, giving you access to your fusion plays. Alright? So that's pretty much the Vision Hero engine in a nutshell. It actually is pretty good, and it can recur itself very well. Moving forward, for the Elemental Heroes, 2 copies of Elemental Hero Stratos. Stratos is just a linchpin for every hero deck. Whenever it's summoned, you get to search any hero monster you need from your deck to your hand. Very important. And not only that, but if you're also summoning it while you control other hero monsters, you can destroy spell and trap cards on your opponent's side of the field equal to those other hero monsters except for Stratos itself. Alright? Very cool. And the effects are not hard once per turn. Hint, hint, wink, wink. Alright? 3 copies of Elemental Hero Solid Soldier. Solid Soldier is an awesome card. What happens is that you normal summon him out, you set to special summon another hero monster right from your hand alongside of it. Typically, you're going to be either going for a Vision Hero Vion or Elemental Hero Shadow Mist to actually utilize their effects. Alright? One cool thing about Solid Soldier is that whenever it leaves the field by the effect of a spell card, whether it be polymerization or mass change, you're getting another hero monster from your graveyard back onto the field into defense position, which is actually pretty cool. Extra bodies can beat extra links. Alright? 2 copies of Shadow Mist. Shadow Mist is actually pretty awesome whenever it's into the graveyard. Search your deck for a hero monster, and whenever she special summon, you get to search your deck for a mass change. So either way, you're going to be getting a search off of her. Bad news is that you only get 1 search per turn. You can use only either or effect, but still, she's worth having in this deck so much. Alright? A few more Elemental Heroes. 1 copy of Elemental Hero Honest Neos. The hand trap of the deck boosts any hero monster up by 2500 attack, which is actually pretty damn awesome. I mean, if you ever get him onto the field, he can actually fill your graveyard a little bit more by discarding hero monsters from the deck to the graveyard to power boost themselves by that discarded hero's attack. Keep that in mind. Alright. 1 copy of Elemental Hero Bubbleman. Bubbleman is just so freaking awesome in hero decks. in my opinion, he's the best extender a hero deck could be utilizing. You don't have any cards in your hand or any of the monsters in your hand. Special summon this guy out. Another free body on the field just allows you to just do so many things, especially in Master Rule 4. He needs to be in hero decks at 1 at least. Alright. 2 copies of Destiny Hero Malicious. This is a card you want to be dumping off of Violence Effect. Get 1 into the graveyard, banish. That one you send to the graveyard to special summon 1 from your deck to the field. Alright. Typically, back in the day, we used to have 3. Now we only have 2. But to be honest, it's still functional too. Now thanks to we have Cross Crusader to be able to bring back that second Malicious to actually utilize it for its own effects. Okay. And the last monster in the deck, 1 copy of Sheehan Squire. Yes, I still run Naturia Beast in the extra, so just to get those spell negates, which is just so important for this game right now, because spells are extenders, and with Nat Beast on the field, pretty much your opponent's not activating spells because it's not a hard. That makes this not a hard once per turn. And as long as you have cards in your deck, you have the ability to negate their spells. All right, that's it for the monster lineups. For the spells, 1 copy of A Hero Lives. Pay half your life points. Special summon an elemental hero monster from your deck to the field. Pretty easy. Can open up a whole lot of combo chains. Alright. 3 copies of Call by the Grave. Helps defend the deck from hand traps. It also allows you to get rid of problematic effect monsters from the graveyard by banishing them. So, always worth having around for interruptions. 3 copies of E Emergency Called. Key Hero Searcher spell. 3 copies of Mass Change. Be able to go into your Masked Heroes. 1 copy of Monster Reborn. King of the of the extended cards. 1 copy of Moon Mirror Shield. Alright, you pitch this card off of Isol's effect to special summon out Xian, so you can go into your Nat Beast play. If you ever draw into this card, before you link off into one of your link monsters, like Isolde, equip it to one of the monsters you're using as a link material. And then when it hits the graveyard, pay the 500 points to put it back at the bottom of your deck. 1 copy of Polymerization. Get your fusions going. This is a warrior-based deck, so 1 copy of Reinforcement of Army. Pretty standard. 1 copy of Super Polymerization can help you fusion summon during your opponent's turn, as well as break your opponent's boards. So, very important card. I don't like running more than 1. I felt 2 was just too cloggy. I was drawing into them way too much, and I didn't really have anything to fusion summon, especially if I was going first. So, only 1. 2 copies of Twin Twister, because back row is a thing, and you want to be able to respond to your opponent, especially if they are packing Mystic Mine. And then, last but not least, 3 copies of World Legacy Secession. Being able to basically be a Monster Reborn to zones your Link Monsters point to. Great extender to have. That's it for the main deck. For the extra deck, we go into 2 copies of Masked Hero Dark Lord. I mean, this is pretty standard for most hero decks. It's a walking macrocosmos, banishes anything your opponent sends to the graveyard, and if the opponent searches while this card's face up in the field, it rips a card out of your opponent's hand. And because of the first effect, that card's banished. Alright. 1 copy of Anki, pretty standard. It can attack your opponent's life points directly, and if it destroys one of your opponent's monsters and sends it to the graveyard, you're searching your deck for a mass change. Alright. Masked Hero DNG keeps getting better with more and more heroes. Oh my god. Whenever she attacks and destroys one of your opponent's monsters by battle and sends it to the graveyard, you get to special summon another hero monster from your deck to the field. Alright, and of course, I got my board white combo in here since I'm running Bubble Man. I have Elemental Hero, Absolute Zero, and Masked Hero Acid. With Marin Assess coming out and Rising Rampage, there's a very good chance that we might be seeing that a lot more in the meta. And Absolute Zero here, oh my god, this guy gets so huge when you have multiple water monsters on the field, especially your opponent. Gains 500 attack points for every other warrior or tribute monster that's on the field. And the really best part about it is your opponent's not going to want to remove this guy from the field, because whenever he leaves the field, he blows up all your opponent's monsters. And that's the one really cool thing, especially if you utilize Mass Change, because you use Mass Change on this guy. He leaves the field, you special summon out Acid, and then what happens is that Acid knocks out the back row, and Absolute Zero knocks out your opponent's front row, which basically nukes their board, allowing you to go at their life points directly. Alright. Vision Hero, Adoration, and Trinity are also in my extra deck. Virus and Cross Crusader do lock you into summoning heroes, so you have to run a lot more heroes in your extra deck. But these two guys are actually pretty damn awesome. They're generic fusions, and they can actually really help you out. Adoration is a card I like to end on a lot of times, primarily because its effect allows you to target one hero monster you control and one monster your opponent controls, and then your opponent's monster loses attack points equal to the hero monster that you targeted. Pretty awesome. And Trinity is basically there for potential OTK. Basically, whenever it's fusion summoned, during that turn, its original attack is double, so it goes from 25 up to 5,000. It can only attack monsters. However, with other power boosts that you have available, like Dread Decimator or even Honest Neos, you can add on to the attack and make it even stronger. And having a monster that's maybe like 75k that can attack 3 different monsters, yeah, that's going to do some serious damage. Alright. Super Poly target, Starving Venom Dragon. I mean, it's pretty obvious why he's there to help break boards. I mean, you can do it with your own monsters in this deck as well. There are plenty of darks for you to utilize. Alright. Abyss Dweller, primarily because graveyard effects are a thing, and it gets beefier if you use Bubbleman as a material. Nat Beast, again, negate spells. As long as you have cards in your deck, you're negating your opponent's spell cards. They're not activating spells, period. And then for the Link lineup, you have Isolde. Isolde's actually pretty cool. I typically don't use the search effect a whole lot unless I'm planning on summoning Forest afterwards. So typically that monster I'm searching is going to be discarded for Forest because you can't really summon or use his effects. But most of the time Isolde is pitching Moon Mirror Shield to get out Shien Squire so I can Synchro Summon into Nat Beast with Solid Soldier. Alright, and she just requires 2 warriors. And the real cool thing is that since she's a warrior herself, you can easily go into Cross Crusader, because he requires 2 warriors. When he hits the field, you can take a Destiny hero that's in your graveyard, special summon it to the field, and then you have 2 choices. You can either go up the Link ladder using that new body, or you can distribute it off to get another search for a hero monster, which is awesome. Of course, I like to build into extra hero Wonder Driver. Wonder Driver is actually pretty cool. Whenever a monster is summoned to the zones it points to, you're getting back either a Polymerization spell card or a Change Quick Play spell card. So yes, if you use Super Poly already earlier in the duel, you can get it back with this card. Awesome recursion. And then what I like to do is I like to go further extend up the ladder and just utilize Dread Decimator. Decimator is actually pretty awesome. Itself and any hero monsters it points to gains 100 attack for every hero monster that's in your graveyard. And I typically end on anywhere from 7 to 9 hero monsters in the graveyard at the end of the turn. So that's 700 to 900 extra points to those hero monsters, which is awesome. Decimator also has the ability to inflict piercing damage, which is actually cool if your opponent does try to hide from your beefy monsters. Alright guys, that is it for my updated hero deck for July 2019. Guys, as always, like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more content like this on my channel, make sure to subscribe and enable notifications, including the YouTube notifications, so you don't miss a single upload. Guys, follow me on Twitter. I'm at BystanderX79. Check out the description box below. Find the invite link to my Discord channel. Join the conversation. We would love to have you. And guys, if you really want to help me push my content to greater heights, please, please, please consider backing me on Patreon. The link is in the description box as well. Alright guys, until next time, as always, peace!